Welcome in, folks, to the Birdland Network. My name is Walt, and I'll be your host for today's video. And today we're going to talk about a really good, fun topic. We're going to talk about the Major League Baseball's 2024 Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. We're going to talk about the players that are new to the ballot this year. We'll talk about returning players. And then we'll give our predictions on who we think is going to maybe just miss getting in, and then those players we think are going to get the call and going to be nominated and inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in July. So we'll start right there. For those that are new to the channel, if this is your first time in, please consider subscribing and hit that like button. It definitely helps the video. We talk about mostly Baltimore Orioles stuff here. We're big Orioles fans, but we also chime in with a lot of baseball knowledge and talk as well. And since we're on the subject of Baseball Hall of Fame, if you like talking Hall of Fame stuff and seeing a lot of information, every Thursday at 9 a.m., we do a Baseball Hall of Fame profile on a Hall of Fame player. Talk about their career and things of that nature. I really think you'll find that is interesting. So every Thursday, 9 a.m., Hall of Fame profiles right here on the Birdland Network. Now let's get into today's video. January 24th is when they will reveal those, if any, get into the Baseball Hall of Fame from the Baseball Writers Association of America. Now, for me, we'll kind of go over those that are new to the ballot first, then we'll talk about the returning ballot people, players, and from there we'll talk about maybe some that we think are going to just miss getting in, and then any, if any, of who we think are going to get in. Now, for the first time on the ballot, we have Jose Bautista, we have Adrian Beltre, Bartolo Colon, Adrian Gonzalez, Matt Holliday, Victor Martinez, Joe Mauer, Brandon Phillips, Jose Reyes, James Shields, Chase Utley, and David Wright. All very good players in their own right. They made some sort of impact on the game for sure. So there's a lot to really digest in that group for the writers this year. They've got to look at these players because these are really good players. Now, those that are returning, there are 14 former players that are returning to the ballot after receiving at least 5% of the vote. If you receive less than 5%, you fall off the ballot. These players did not. We'll start at the bottom. We have Torrey Hunter, who received 6.9%. Francisco Rodriguez, 10%. This is last year's voting. Mark Burley at 10.8%. Jimmy Rollins at 12.9%. Bobby Abreu at 15.4%. Andy Pettit at 17%. Omar Vizquel at 19.5%. Manny Ramirez at 32.2%. Alex Rodriguez at 35.7%. Carlos Beltran at 46.5%. Gary Sheffield at 55%. Andrew Jones at 58.1%. Billy Wagner at 68.1%. And Todd Helton, who just missed it last year, at 72.2%. Now, before I even get into who I think is going to make it, I'm going to talk about these players that I think are on the cusp but are just going to miss getting in this year, and what percentage I feel they'll get. The first one I'll start with is Gary Sheffield. Now, last year, Gary Sheffield got 55% of the vote, and he's on his 10th year on the ballot. So this is, I think, his last year on the ballot. And I don't think he's going to make it. I think that he's going to go up. I do think he'll go up a little bit. I think he'll go from 55% to about 62%, but it's not going to be enough to get him in. So I think he'll fall off the ballot, and the only other way he could get in is maybe through the Veterans Committee. They may possibly vote him in down the road. But I don't think he'll get in this time, but I do think his percentage will go up, which is kind of a shame. Gary Sheffield is one of those players that when you look at the numbers probably really kind of speak to him getting in, but I just don't think he's going to get the nod. The next player on the list that I think is going to get really close, but isn't quite going to make it, is Andrew Jones. I think Andrew Jones last year, he got 58.1% of the vote. I think he's another excellent player who I think this year is going to make a really big jump. He's going to get 70%, but he's just going to miss it again. Just going to miss getting in. So many new players that are going to take up votes, in my opinion, that his percentage will go up, but it's not going to quite be enough to get him in. And then last but not least, Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner last year had 68.1% of the vote. I think, again, he'll go up, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get him in. I think he's going to get about 72% of the vote and just miss it. Now, the good thing about it for Billy Wagner and Andrew Jones is, at least for Wagner, he'll have one more shot next year. This is his 9th year. Andrew Jones will have a couple more after this because this is his 7th year. But those are the three for me that I think are going to get really close but aren't quite going to make it. Now, for those that I feel are going to make it, first we'll start with the one that I think is just going to get in, and that's Todd Helton. I do think Todd Helton, this is his year. I think that he had 72% of the vote last year. He just missed getting in. You need 75% to get in. And I think he's going to make it this year. I really do. I think he's going to get that extra 3%. And I think he's going to make it into the Hall of Fame. I really, really do. When you look at his numbers over his career, I mean, he was a lifetime 316 hitter. He had 2,519 hits. He had 369 home runs, 1,406 RBIs. He's an excellent player, excellent player. His WAR is a 61.8 WAR, which is really good. 5 All-Star games, 4 Silver Sluggers, 3 Golden Gloves. He won the 2000 batting title, and in that year he hit 372. I feel that this is his year. I really think he should get in, and I don't think it should hurt him that he played in Colorado. This was an excellent player. He was an excellent player for a very long time, a lifetime 300 hitter, well over 300 at 316, 369 home runs, over 1,400 RBIs, just excellent ball player, good in the field as well. His WAR speaks to it at 61.8. The first guy getting in my opinion, is definitely going to be Todd Helton this year. I think he gets the call. Now, the next guy on the list, this is his first year on the ballot, but I think he's going to get in, and that is none other than Joe Mauer. I think Joe Mauer is going to make it. As a catcher, he was one of the best in the game. He's another one that's just fantastic for his career. He had 143 home runs. He had 923 RBIs. Again, a lifetime 306 batting average. Now, I know he didn't play first catcher his whole entire career, but he did for the majority of it. Great player. I just think he's fantastic. He had a 55.2 WAR, which is very good. 6 All-Star game appearances, 3 Gold Gloves, and he was the 2009 American League MVP as well. I think Joe Mauer gets the call this year. His first year of eligibility, I think he's going to get in. I really, really do. And then last but not least, and I think this one is the slam dunk, I think everybody expects this guy to get in, and I think that everybody should expect him to get in because I think he's just fantastic, not just offensively, but defensively. And, of course, that's Adrian Beltre. Adrian Beltre over his career had 477 home runs. He had 1,707 RBIs. He had 3,166 hits. He has a 286 lifetime batting average. His WAR is 93.5. 4 All-Star game appearances, 4 Silver Sluggers, 5 Gold Gloves, 2-time Platinum Gold Glove winner as well. He just was absolutely fantastic. Always in the MVP voting as well. This guy is just one of the best players out there. He had over 636 doubles in his career, 38 triples as well. He even threw in 121 stolen bases. He was an all-around player who is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I think he's going to get about 90% of the vote. I really do. I think he gets in, and those are the guys. Those are the ones for me that I think get in. I think we're going to see Todd Helton, Joe Mauer, and Adrian Beltre get their plaques in the Hall of Fame this year. And to be honest with you, I think all very, very deserving. But there you go, folks. That's my opinion. That's my predictions on the Major League Baseball 2024 Hall of Fame ballot. I want to know what you think. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know in the chat who you think is going to get in, or maybe you don't think anybody's going to get in. I'd love to hear from you. Be sure to leave that comment in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, again, be sure to check out our Thursdays Hall of Fame profiles every Thursday at 9 a.m. We also do what's called a Camden Chat on Mondays, a live stream where we talk about all things Orioles, Baltimore Orioles, and baseball talk. And other than that, folks, I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't too long. I try not to be too long with these. But I appreciate you joining me. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll talk to you soon.